Hello. How's everybody doing? All right. Let's get everybody gathered around. We're going to have a good Indienomicon tonight. All right. It's always a good Indienomicon, I think. I don't know. All right. I think we got just about everybody. So how's everybody doing? Okay, cool. My name's Dave. I'm going to host the show tonight. How many of you are here for the first time at an Indienomicon event? Cool, we got a handful of hands up. I like that. Since it's your first time here, I'll give you the brief rundown. Indienomicon exists to raise awareness for locally developed independent video games. We do that through a series of monthly meetups. It's always the first Thursday of every month. We've been doing this for a little over 3 years now, presenting 2 to 3 games just about every time. So man, I don't do the math on that. That's a lot of games. We've shown off a lot of games in 3 years. But Central Florida is just filled with really cool content, and that's why we started the show, to raise awareness for those games and to make sure that all the game developers here in Central Florida could feel like rock stars for at least one night. So thank you guys for coming out if it's your first time, and we hope you definitely come back. It's a fun community, and we've been working hard to build it. So this is the July meetup. For those of you that do want to keep in touch with us, we have some social media stuff. The hashtag #LoveOfIndie and @Indienomicon at Twitter. We also have a Facebook account as well, just facebook.com/Indienomicon. We'll hook you up with us so you can keep track of all of our events and keep abreast of all of the fun indie news happening here in Orlando. Also, before you leave tonight, please check out our merch table in the back. We have t-shirts, these really fun t-shirts. We have like a bunch of other little things that you can pick up, and that's one way that you can help support us. We want to support the community, and we want to keep these shows running free and family friendly. So you guys can help us out by picking up some merch as well, or also helping us out on Patreon. If you're familiar with the Patreon network, you can be a patron for Indienomicon and help us out on a monthly basis. So, all right. It's more information about our meetups. In the meantime, I want to take a moment just to thank the Melrose Center as well for allowing us to be our home, allowing this to be our home for the last couple of years. It's a fantastic place. If you haven't checked it out, there's all sorts of fun things to do. There's a fabrication lab with 3D printer. There's a photo studio, video editing bay. It's really amazing. All you need is a library card. So definitely check it out. And this is a great home for simulation and for game development. And also, so you guys know, Orlando IX has a date. How many of you went to Orlando IX in 2015? All right, cool. Very fun event. Indienomicon helped to put that together. We were a sponsor for that, had a really great booth. It was a fantastic time. So the dates for that, October 14th through 16th this year. So mark your calendar. We're going to be reminding you guys over the next couple of months. Orlando IX is a big deal for us. So we want to make sure that we get you guys going. Okay, so our first game is a game that's near and dear to my heart. I kind of helped work on it a little bit. Try not to do the whole like host the show and also present stuff. So my development partner Corey is going to be running the presentation tonight for a game called Time to Die Adventures. Let's give Corey a round of applause.
Hi everybody, how are you? How are you? I'm nervous. I know you're not supposed to say that, right? Okay. So this is Time to Die Adventures. I've been working on this with Dave, your lovely host, who is Bad Pilcrow. I'm ThatWhichIs Media. Katie Archbold, who's sitting in the back and waving, has done art assets for this game, and there are some legacy art assets from our first game. But first thing, I wanted to see if you guys want to see a trailer. All right, trailers are fun, I think. I don't know. This is actually for an alpha build that was a fork, and I'll talk about that later, but this build ended up not happening, so here's the trailer. Thank you. And I can't talk about Time to Die Adventures without starting, I guess, at the first game in the series, which was Time to Die Dungeons. This was a game that we worked on, and it was the first game in a proprietary JavaScript SDK that we've been putting together. That game launched in March of last year. We actually presented it here in April of last year. Does anybody remember that? 2 people, yay! And our goal with that in this series of games has really been platform ubiquity. So we launched that game on 9 platforms, including all of those you see here. Fun fact, if anyone's wondering if it's worth developing for a micro console, that was one of our best-selling versions on the Ouya, so I recommend it. If you find the niche markets that are hungry for something, go for it. So as soon as we finished Dungeons, we started work on Adventures, and we started thinking about what we wanted to do. So of course, we want to go bigger. We want more maps. We want more items, more monsters, fewer bugs, and hopefully better performance. We also wanted to implement a campaign system because the first game was a little long in the tooth. It had a campaign that most people could beat within about 45 minutes to an hour, but it was a one-sitting playthrough. It doesn't start you in the middle of the campaign. So we wanted to make more bite-sized chunks, 20 or 30-minute campaigns that people could play maybe in one sitting, quit the game, come back to it, play through the second or third campaign. We also added some generative DLC campaigns with pre-built maps, so the campaigns themselves are arranged by order of difficulty. It builds out of 8 maps, where you get like 3 easy maps, 2 medium maps, 3 hard maps, and you get a lot of variety that way, and of course DLC maps, because if we want to continue building an SDK and adding functionality to it as we go, that was something we figured we should have the ability to do, is actually pull data from other sources and be able to turn it into gameplay. So, yay! We also want to add pets and puzzles and continue our story. And that's where you can see in these probably tiny pictures on your screen on the left side in Dungeons, we had Danforth, who was lost at the end of the first game, and he was the lab assistant of Dr. Amelia Stratus, who is looking for him in this game. And basically, in every capacity that the first game had content, we tried to double that for this version. We also worked on setting it up so that anything you unlock in the game, you can take with you via an account to any other device you have it on. And we included the entire first game. We kept backwards compatibility, which was more of a pain than it might seem it was sometimes. And also puzzles, because we like puzzles. So Adventures is, of course, the second game in our proprietary JavaScript SDK. It launched in October of 2015. Haha, no, that didn't happen. Although the game was pretty much done at that point. We had a lot of our stuff complete, but we actually officially launched it this past week on June 30th. It's available now on 4 platforms, which are iOS, the web on itch.io, where you can play for free, Windows Phone and Windows Store. It's available for $1.99 in each of those places. And you may be asking yourself, if we had it done in October, why did we not just release it? And it's because we took a couple side trips that I'll kind of talk about, which Orlando IX, we just talked about, and it's an event. It's happening again this year. It happened last year. We were at it, and it was great. We got a lot of great player feedback. We watched a lot of people play, and there were some people who sat and played through the whole game, which is fun. But you also realize that we started to realize that people were enjoying the game and enjoying the combat system once they got a feel for how it worked, and we weren't giving people a lot of visual feedback or even feedback on how the combat system worked. It's something that we felt like people could figure out, but it's also unfair, I think, to ask your users to have to figure out an intentionally obscured system. So between Dungeons and Adventures, we revamped how the combat works, and you can see there's a grid system. Everything in our game, it's a top-down dungeon crawler, and it lets you move freely in the game, but all of the combat is grid-based. And so we figured if that is the case, and if we're doing that, why not show that to people so that they can see how the systems work, learn how to work within the systems, learn where they can attack, where they're being attacked from, how long it is before they can flee and attack again, and even that they have the option to flee, which is where your little blue tile comes here. And yes, she can walk on water. She has an amulet that lets her do that, so that's not a bug. So after Orlando IX, some big revamp, we also put together a Wii U version because, and we're probably not going to be releasing this particular game on it, but we were excited to be able to see for a fact that our framework works within the web framework for the Nintendo Wii U. And what's good about this, the reason I bring it up is not to be like, we made a thing and you'll never see it, but we got a lot of great experience out of it, because the Wii itself, because it was basically doing like a software level emulation of a web framework, it really forced us to, I think, make smarter choices in how we were processing. We also rewrote our renderer so that we could use the Wii hardware, and I think that'll be good because moving forward, we can actually start to move into a WebGL renderer and add some more fun graphical candy. So, where do we go from here? Internally, the JavaScript SDK that we've been working on, we've been starting to call the Stout SDK, and we actually really want to open source that and let other people work with it. So we've actually started working with a secondary team who's going to be making a Splinter game to the series. They've got complete creative freedom. They can do whatever they want with it, and that will help us to identify convenience functions that people might be looking for and functionality that they want. We're going to formalize a style guide. I'm going to put that on Dave. I'm going to help him write the API. And we're also, in the future, we're already starting work on Time to Die Game 3. We want to make one more game in this series. We want for this to be a quick iteration because we got very bogged down in this one, and we want to move forward with this one quickly. We want to do a complete graphical overhaul. So Katie, I think, is going to shoulder the burden there. We want to continue evolving our combat system and making it more complex, but also more transparent so that people can have fun working within it. And that's the ultimate goal, is we want to have fun. We want our players to have fun. I hope you are having fun and not super bored. And so with that, I guess I'll reiterate that the game is available in a whole bunch of places. You can find those places at timetodieadventures.com. You can also go play it for free on the web at ThatWhichIs.itch.io, Time to Die Adventures. Any questions? I'm going to drink water. Did I bring water? Oh no, I'm not drinking water. What's up?
Yeah, so in your available platforms, I saw iOS, itch.io, Windows Phone, and Windows Desktop. Why is Android excluded from that? Like, why did you not target Android?
We had some issues. We do want to make an Android version eventually, although at this point we might push it till Game 3, because in the first game we had some issues with performance due to device fragmentation, and that's something that we want to invest a lot of time in, making sure that it will work across as many devices as we can get it to work on. But in the interim, we're withholding an export for that platform just until it meets our standards and we hope works to everybody's satisfaction. I saw, did someone have a question over?
Same question on that.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Actually, I'm curious, what kind of issues were you having with the fragmentation? Was it just like general bugs, or was it just not running at all, period?
There actually were some bugs because what we found, and I'm trying to decide what level of detail to go into. We ran into some audio issues because we actually, for several different platforms, used two different audio frameworks. We use the web audio API and the more traditional like HTML audio. And what we found was that across a lot of Android devices, one would work somewhere and wouldn't work in other places. And if we switched to the other one, we had the exact opposite problem. So there was just specific stuff we would need to develop a framework. And there are even frameworks out there that you can use. I've looked at them, but some of them aren't very lightweight to actually determine which platform you're on so that you could specifically make something for that individual platform or even device. Some other minor issues we ran into were just things with, say, frame rate, because the devices themselves were higher resolution, but sometimes they didn't necessarily have either the graphical power to support it, or even if they did, something in our framework wasn't properly accessing that. Is that a way too detailed answer? Or?
No, that's perfect. Are you having any problems with storage? Some of the phones are requiring your state of your drives and your SD cards to be in the exact same state in order for you to save stuff correctly. So we're now finding a whole bunch of mobile games suddenly are not working unless you managed to get lucky and when you initialized your phone for the first time you set it to that state, which a lot of people don't know about and it isn't explained. So that was another hot topic that's been showing up lately.
That's not an issue I'm aware of us having. But, I mean, if you want to let us know.
I can tell it. I'll take that later.
Thank you.
Here's a good example.
Anyone else?
Why is it free on itch.io?
Because, well, we actually, in the first game, we have a version up paid on itch.io, and because it's built natively and natively for the web, because even for the first game, we actually had a version up on one of our sites that we would link to some people. And we thought about it, and honestly, yes, a goal of ours is to make money with this project, to be able to support ourselves and support further development. But we'd also like people to know about it. It's hard sometimes, especially in mobile spaces, to get someone to drop $1 or $2 on a game that's from maybe a studio you've never heard of, when there are AAA titles that millions of people are playing that are pretty rock solid, that you can download and start playing, at least in many cases, for free. And so we want people to play, and we want feedback. And because this is a continuing development process for us, we really do value people's feedback, because we want to keep making things, and we want to keep making things better. So we decided to put it up and put it on good faith. There is a donate button on the page. If anyone thinks that what we're doing is worthwhile, they are more than welcome to donate. We suggest the $1.99 that the game costs everywhere else, but you can donate more, less, whatever you want to do.
Good time for one more question.
Anyone else? Oh, over here.
Are you planning on monetizing it with maybe pets that you can buy, or some kind of add-on that you can buy? And then are you preparing for that kind of thing, where you'll be able to download that content?
It's something we've talked about, but it's not what we're most immediately talking about. Having at least the ability to do that, I think, would be good, especially if we want to make our engine, or SDK rather, available for other people, so maybe they could use them. But something that we were even talking about today is specifically for the itch.io build, is maybe even, and this is sheer brainstorming, by the way, nothing has been implemented involving this, but we thought about maybe doing something so that if and when people donate, they actually show up as a top donor somewhere in the game, like on the main screen, so that there's actually kind of a novelty to helping support us. But we're looking at other monetization strategies involving that, and that's something we would consider, and certainly having the functionality or the ability to do it, we would consider. But it's not something that we're immediately looking at implementing into our game. You said that was the last question, or I think there's one more?
So this is, you don't have to use this idea, but I saw it somewhere. It was some indie developers kind of created this paywall where it's like, would you like to donate or no? And if you say no, the only way to get past it and play the game is to actually beat up cartoon versions of the developers. So you have to keep tapping, you're kind of punching them, and they have black eyes, and then their clothes are getting red, and then they end up broke, and just kind of dying. So
I do like that idea.
Method.
I don't feel particularly beat up if people want to, especially if people want to rate. First off, that's the biggest thing. If you even look at the game and have somewhere you can rate it, please let us know. And you know what? I know I'm asking for it saying this. I don't even mind bad ratings, but if you give a bad rating, could you at least let me know what you don't like about it so we can work on it? That'd be awesome. Good ratings are awesome too, though. He said last question, but I saw someone else start to raise. Oh.
All right. Thank you, Corey.
Okay. We'll talk later.
Thank you, sir. All right. And also, so you guys know, I have some promo codes as well. So if there's anybody that wants to play the game for free on the Windows Store, come see me afterwards. All right. Next, we have a brief presentation from Juan Rivera at the Melrose Center. He's going to talk to you guys about some things that they have kicking here regarding game development. So let's give Juan a round of applause.
Thank you. So I don't have so much a presentation as just wanted to come up here and share with you guys. Some of you guys may already know me. Some of you guys probably don't know me. Probably don't even know what the Melrose Center, what we do here at the Melrose Center. So I'm trying to raise awareness and let everybody know. feedback is the key here, like what he said. You know, we want to hear from you guys and see what you guys want. The Melrose Center is a creative workspace, right? It's a place where you can come in and work on your creative projects. We provide training and access to a lot of creative technologies here. We have cameras, we have studios, we have microphones, we have sound booths, anything that you need to work on your own games, all right? We also were donated some game computers right in the back over here that you guys can use to develop your own games with as well here at the Melrose Center. We're acquiring some future technology like the Oculus Rift, and we're also getting some gesture cameras like the RioSense from Intel that you can develop for here as well. The idea is that we are going to make that equipment available for you guys to check it out. You can't take it home, but you can use it here and develop for here. With that idea, I need to develop some classes to be able to teach this equipment and future and other classes to teach. I'm not saying I don't think you guys that come here to Indienomicon are probably know all the stuff that I'm trying to teach, but maybe you can help me build some type of curriculum for future indie developers to have a place to start. So I'm sitting on one of the tables in the back over there, handing out some surveys, demoing a game that I designed for the Oculus Rift here for one of our classes. You're welcome to come and check it out. And if you have any more questions, please let me know. Okay? Any questions now? Yes?
Do you guys have the reset on all of the Adobe Suite, like every half hour?
It's we allow you to use our computers for 3 hours.
Yeah.
3 hours, and after that, but yeah, you can use all of the Adobe Suite during that time. And it's 3 hours during the whole day, so if you take an hour, you leave and come back, you still have your 2 hours to work on it. But it's 3 hours for free every day if you have a library card. If you have a library card, yes.
Are said game development curriculums, are they going to be more generalized or specialized curriculum?
Right now I'm working mainly in Unity. Unity, I'm teaching Maya as well, Blender as well. All beginner level classes, but I want to develop into more advanced classes as well. And that's where I need your feedback to see what direction I should go with that as well. Okay? Any more questions? We do teach some programming classes. We have processing, JavaScript. With the video game classes that we do have offer with Unity, we teach some C# as well. Any more questions? So if you do have any more questions, please don't hesitate to see me. I'm going to be in the middle over there in the back, okay? Thank you. Thank you.
All right. And our final game for tonight, I'm happy to announce Vectromirror from Major Games. And Rupert Megnot from Burnout Game Ventures is going to introduce our speaker for tonight and get you guys started off with Vectromirror. All right.
How's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing tonight? Come on, you're supposed to be up with everything. Okay, so I'm going to introduce our Gabe, and Gabe is a former student of mine from Full Sail in the Game Design Master's Degree program. I have a few of you are here, and this is a game that they put a lot of heart into, and I'll just let him tell you about it, and we'll see what goes. So Major Games is a client of BGV, and Gabe is the lead designer. So come on up here, Gabe.
All right, welcome everybody. Thank you for being here tonight. So this is our project. Vectromirror is our upcoming title from Major Games. We released a game last year called Bit Evolution. We presented it here as well. I don't know if anybody that was here before, but you might see it, something familiar. So I'm going to start talking about the most crucial part for me on game development, which is, the team. So this team, the Major Games team actually started with these 5 guys from the picture, and Rupert's there as well. So we were colleagues from Full Sail Game Development degree, master's degree, and we worked really well together, and we're working on several different projects at the same time. And then we realized that we could be a lot better if we worked together. So that's how it was created, and we started focusing more and more on major games, and that's our main priority now. So Connor Van Dyke is our studio head and producer. It's pretty cool because he has experience with programming, art, design, and production. So he's like a jack of all trades who can, as a producer, that's really important, can keep us, in check and see if everything is running smoothly. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, this team is for Vectromirror. So we have more people working with us on major games because we have 2 other projects, Bit Evolution and Not Without You, which is about Pilcrow from David. It's pretty cool. So yeah, we have, so far we have 3 artists focusing on it. Then the design team is me, Yusuf Trey. Ryan Miller, our programmer lead, he works at Volition, so that's pretty cool. He learns a lot there, and he's always bringing good things on the plate. No, and nothing, under NDA, unfortunately. But yeah, so Greg is also really talented. He's here with us, so later if you have any questions about programming, you can meet him. We're gonna be playing the game over there. And Pejman is our He's our main audio guy, and we met him at GDC, and he's a really, really talented guy. Been working with music for like 13 years, so that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about the story of Vectromirror. And so basically in January 2014, there was a global game jam on Full Sail. You guys probably familiar. It wasn't from Full Sail, it was the big one, but yeah, that was one of the locations. And actually that day I was working on a different project, and Connor and Ryan were working on Vectromirror. And basically, that was, they did that build. That's the picture you see there. So, pretty dark, pretty quick. It's a game jam project. But if you look at the textures, they're pretty easy to be created. We don't have to go and paint the whole texture and things like that. So some ways to speed up the process that still makes the game look cool. So in September of 2015, after releasing Bit Evolution, we realized that the design team started to have a little bit more time to work out of Bit Evolution, and we decided, okay, let's make a vertical slice build for Vectromirror and see what we can come up with. And a vertical slice, for those of you who don't know, is like a demo of trying to replicate the final quality of the game, and that's what you guys, that's what I have available for you guys tonight. So we did that build in like a month and a half if you count a little bit of polishing, like 2 months max. And it was really cool. We showcased it in a lot of places like Orlando IX. At Indienomicon, that was the first time that we showed the game on VR, which was really cool, was really exciting. Unfortunately, I didn't have a strong PC build to bring it for you guys to try tonight, but yeah, so the VR, when we gave it to the public, was this is the best way for us to get feedback, from our game and see if it's evolving the right direction, blah, blah, blah. So the VR was kind of a big success, and we were really excited with that. We thought that it would match the game well. And yeah, so basically in March 2016, we went to GDC, showcased the game there. It was an amazing experience. Thank you everybody from the Orlando booth. It was pretty awesome. And then we did the art show. We were invited for an art show a few months ago that they wanted a VR experience. We put it there, and basically the whole night, like 4 or 5 hours, there was a line of people wanting to play the VR version, basically. So we were like, okay, so we need to keep moving on that direction because it's pretty cool. So that's an image of the vertical slice build that we have here. That was the one done in a month to 2 months. And so that one was very experimental. We wanted to just see, okay, what's right here, what's wrong. So basically the postmortem we had for it is that, the visuals, people really liked it. They thought the Tron aspect was, because it's kind of inspired on Tron, the art, a lot of other things as well. So people really like the visuals. They also thought that the gameplay and the theme, because the gameplay is like it's a parkour game. It's like basically a cyber parkour game in essence. So the gameplay with the theme of futuristic and all that stuff kind of felt like they fit together. And of course the VR seemed like a really good route to take. So for what went wrong is one of the mechanics we had on that one, we have on that build, it's a push and pull gravitational sphere. So let's say you press the left button and it's a push force, and right button is a pull force, but then it casts a sphere that either pushes all the objects away or brings them all together. And that was really, I love it, and it's really fun, but at the same time there's not a lot of control over it. Like it's a little bit random. Let's say it blasts a bunch of boxes, I don't know where they're gonna fall over with. So there was some limitations that made us worried. So the lessons we learned was, let's keep doing what we're doing. It's moving on the right direction. Let's experiment with something that is not as physics heavy on the push and pull, still keeping everything else. So that's what our next step was. And also, what else can we do with the art? And because that art that we have, it was done like, it could have be like, we love it, but it has so much more potential even. So, and that's what we're doing now. Unfortunately, I can't show the NDA stuff. So cool. So basically, to enhance the experience, so for this new build that we're making, we're experimenting with new mechanics, trying to do things where like you can transform different objects and interact with them, but it won't be as heavy on the physics. And trying to decide, what route we want to make. Do we want to keep just no physics, or maybe merge them? That's what we're figuring out right now. The good thing is if we don't use physics, so much physics manipulation, we won't need as big of a processing power. So that's really cool because the game would be playable for people that don't have a supercomputer. So that's important too. But yeah, that's a decision we're still taking. One thing to talk about the core gameplay that I thought it could be cool for you guys is, so for example, the whole experience is divided in two styles of levels. We have the overworld levels where you have natural environments, so let's say a tree, forest or a cave or a village or whatever. And those levels are more focused on exploring and on puzzles, a little bit more static. And then the instance levels, so let's say you're exploring you can look there, you start with exploration, and then you would go to you do a puzzle on the overworld, you gain access to the instance, so like, okay, now I can go there, either you got a new power or you got access to that somehow. And then you jump on the instance levels, and they are digital environments, so like Tron World, basically. And those are really way more action-driven and, the parkour elements of the game. And the instances will take a bigger part of the game. It will be like 70% of the content, because people, after playing this, they really like, they were like, oh yeah, we like the action parts. Give us more of that. And so we won't have the player, otherwise, if you think of Portal, which is something that you have to look and think, and we're not really going on that route. Another thing that's cool is the narrative. We're trying to go with like an emotional journey and something introspective and that can be meaningful to people. And we're also going to try to do that without having in your face storytelling, like, and this happened, and go there. No, like we're trying to do that all with the level environment, and so like assets, the music, the gameplay on its own. So that's pretty cool. And also all those levels are being separated in different emotions. So let's say if we think about the game as a whole, and each instance will have a different emotion that's inspired of, so that way you feel like the game is it won't feel stale as if the levels are very similar to each other. Like they will be completely different, and that's what we're basing ourselves off. Cool. So our future goals. With this new vertical slice build, because we changed the mechanics, so not completely changed, but we wanted to test some other mechanics that were non-physics. So new vertical slice. So that way we're determining the feasibility. We're gonna look at our deadlines and budget and everything, and what took the longest time to build, what took the slightest time, and then we're gonna move to beta. And yeah, of course, both the alpha and the beta should be polished to a level of, pretty close to release, just so we can get an accurate feedback on, the quality and if it's going the right way. And yeah, in the mid-time, we're gonna probably run a crowdfunding, most likely Kickstarter, just to help us, with some costs on development, really. And yeah, we're aiming for a release on October 2016. And yeah, here's a video of the game. No audio there. Thanks. Questions?
Why exactly at the moment do you need to go crowdfunding?
So basically, everybody's working remotely, so that's why we're gonna raise some funds to just. The initial goal of the crowdfunding is just probably get dev kits and things like that. That's the initial goal. But depending on the size of the crowdfunding that we end up doing, we might do it to try to get the team an office to work for like 6 months and something like that, and get it done.
Make sure a lot of that is up there for people to see. A lot of the companies that already have, like say, someone in a venture role or as a publisher already involved with them are now seeing negative backlash when they go for crowdfunding because a shed with 3 in my number 9.
Yeah, exactly. They're making everybody look bad. I'm kind of worried.
Outrageously bad. Kickstarter might be done.
Wow. Okay. That I didn't know. You had a question? Yeah.
Did you guys do any haptic studies before you went VR, or did you just go VR because of the contrast between the dark and the light? So I was wondering if you went haptics before.
And you said studies. I mean, in terms of the lightning specifically, or? Okay, cool. That's a great question, and yes. So basically, at BGV, we have another team like Major Games called Symbio VR, and they work with. They're focusing on virtual reality systems. So when we realized that we want to do the VR section, we said, okay, let's collaborate. So his team keeps us in check with the VR. He even has advisors that, like, he sent me a book of one of his advisors that works with him. Like, it's like 500 pages on VR, so it's pretty crazy. But yeah. So for example, when we were talking about lighting, one of his artists can come in and talk about that. But definitely VR is like it's a beast, man. So so it's still pretty scary, and but it's going well. So basically how it works is I'm building something, and then I make a build and I send it to Chris from Symbio VR, and he gives me feedback on it from him or his team. He's like, hey, yeah, you should fix this and that. This kind of make me feel dizzy. The colors are not well here, and that's a good way to get an expert in there.
Because a lot of people want VR, but when it happens, that happens, you get sick and throw up.
Exactly, yeah. Like everybody wants to jump in VR, but at the same time, we don't really know how to make VR games yet, as an industry. So we're figuring that out. Awesome. Did you have a question?
Yeah. On your emotional journey, was that actually the aura that you were trying to design, and where did you get that from? It didn't quite seem hero's journey, so I was just curious.
Oh no, it wasn't the hero's journey. It definitely we look at the hero's journey and everything to build the narrative, but that's a color. It's basically on a emotion color wheel. I forget the name of the. I should have put his name of the guy who created that, but it's basically a colored wheel with different emotions. It's basically like the core eight.
So that wasn't the order you were necessarily.
Oh yeah, so yeah, that's actually the order we're planning to do it, but we might change some orders for them as well. We're figuring that out with the narrative, because that's very important for the narrative of the game, so that's kind of how we're figuring that out. Cool. Yep. Is you?
I thought about maybe doing the quick, fast gameplay for VR and bring those out as small interstitial builds that basically you could test and retest, and then bring them back into the bigger game later.
To the bigger, yeah. No, that's an awesome idea. Yeah.
Because I found that VR it works really good for short periods, but
Exactly. Yeah. It was the same for me. I never get sick with, not never get sick, but it's really hard for me to get sick with VR. But yeah, after I played like half an hour of Vectromirror on VR, I started feeling pretty dizzy. So yeah, definitely, that's a really good point you're bringing, and that's what we're debating right now. Because at the moment we're building the game so that it can be both. It can be a build that it's both good for the consoles and PC, and also for the VR. And with how we're splitting the levels, so let's say you have the overworld section, which let's say takes you 5-10 minutes to figure out a puzzle, not a lot of movement, so that should be okay. You go to an instance, and that's like 10-15 minutes of gameplay. So if you're in VR, you might be able to like, oh yeah, that's enough for me, I'll continue a next day. But I really like your point, because yeah, we don't want anybody to feel sick or epilepsy or whatever. So yep.
what engine are you working with?
Unreal Engine 4. Yeah, it started on Unity, the first build with the game jam, and then when we decided to recreate it, that was one of the big things. We were like, oh, imagine this on Unreal, like it could look really good. So the target is consoles and PC. The primary target is PS4, but it's just something that we're definitely gonna release it on 3. It's just that's the one that we're keeping the focus on, because that's where we hope to make more revenues there. So
You guys already got all the how would I say it?
Oculus?
Publishing stuff set up to publish on PlayStation Network.
Yeah, we have. So Rupert helped us with that. So we have contacts with. We already talked to Sony, to Xbox. Basically, with Sony, for Bit Evolution, our other game is already approved. Basically, how it works is you have to build a documentation that they ask you for. So it's like, oh, we want to know this. It's like 20 pages. It's not too bad. Then you send it to them, and they'll give you an answer if like yes or no, or like yes, but you should fix this. Like you have an option of get feedback from them. Luckily for us, it didn't need. And then for Vectromirror, the documentation is ready to submit. I met the guy from Sony, the guy who handles the dev relations. So yeah, still talk? Yeah. So at GDC we talked to both of the, and I showed the guy from Sony the game, and I told him we were looking to use it on the PSVR as well and everything, and he was like, "Oh man, this is really exciting. You know, just whenever you're ready to send us documentation, kind of like should be approved kind of thing." So it should be alright. Yes.
Oh, okay. Wow, the last question? Yes. Sorry. I was gonna ask, so how big is the team? And how many people do you have working on what? Because the graphics are really good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so basically we have on Vectromirror 10 people, and the whole major games team is like 15 to 20. And for Vectromirror we have 2 programmers, 3 artists, 1 producer, 3 designers, and 1 audio guy. Yeah. So, thank you, Chris. Yeah, appreciate it.
All right. Thank you very much, Gabe.
Oh, thank you, everybody.
Okay. Before we wrap up, just a couple quick things. First of all, how many of you have heard of Black Sea Odyssey? Yeah, all right. It was presented here at Indienomicon a little while ago. Just want to let you all know that is now available for purchase on Steam. And if you have any questions, Sean is in the back in the light purple shirt. You can talk to him about Black Sea Odyssey. It's a fantastic game. We love presenting it here. It's just, really cool stuff. So definitely check that out. Also, once again, if you want to help support us, check out the merchandise table in the back. And our next meetup is going to be on August 4th. So for those of you who's your first time, write it down. Find us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Come see us again on August 4th. We'll be showcasing some additional games. You can play Time to Die Adventures will be the monitor on the back left. Vectromirror will be on the big media wall. And make sure you talk to Juan as well about the Melrose Center and their game development curriculum. Thank you guys very much. Have a good night.